For your own health and safety, switch off. Welcome to your Millennial Unfiltered Mother podcast, aka your mum podcast. I'm your host, Christiana, and welcome back to another episode. Thanks for being here. As I said, sometimes you got to switch off. That's what I had to do. There were times where, as everybody was just scrolling the timeline on Instagram and on Twitter and things like that. And just more recently, do you know what? Throughout quarantine, throughout this fake lockdown, there's been a lot of stuff that is just completely, there's just been a lot of content that is just downright racist. If you listen to my previous episode, more recent episodes, I spoke about how racism is rife during this lockdown, with social media and with police brutality as well, and police harassment and things like that. I've spoken about this on like previous episodes, and obviously things have just taken the ultimate left, and the sad passing of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, the Karens of the world, has resurrected the need to protest, the need to shout Black Lives Matter. These senseless killings of innocent Black men, unarmed Black people, people sleeping in their house, dreaming. Do you understand? These types of innocent killings should not have to happen. And a lot of them are happening, at the hands of the people who are supposed to be protecting us. Like, what the hell? I'm still obviously self-isolating because I have to, right? And I'm not going to say I don't go out at all or nothing like that, no. But, I personally have not been able to attend any protests as much as I wanted to. But just because, if anything, if I was to get sick, I'm quite high risk, so I have to think about those things. But I've been doing my part, signing every petition going. I've donated to quite a few causes. And I'm doing what I can as a Black woman to speak out. I'm having conversations with people. I've cut people off. Do you know what I mean? I've had to do it. And that's been my reality over the last couple of weeks. Now, I've had to sort of take moments where I needed to just breathe. Like, I needed to stop going on Instagram, stop going on Twitter, stop it all. Do you know what I mean? Because it was actually starting to affect my mental health. It was starting to affect my sleep. Just sitting there sobbing sometimes at just the stories that come out, and, we're saying all their names. And it's just heartbreaking that the main cause of these senseless killings are because they're Black. That's it. You see a Black person, you see a threat. Like, what? It's madness. So I've had to take a lot of time out. There's times I just take a day off social media. There's times I take 2 days off. And, more recently I've just sort of taken like a week because it's heavy. When it just wears heavy, it's heavy. You're seeing your own people just crying out. Enough is enough. Protesting. Asking for justice. Demanding justice. Videos of people, telling their kids about how they need to be when they see police. Like, what? I too have a young Black son. And, I've been thinking, all right, so when do I start having this conversation with him? Obviously not now because he's 2 years old. But I'm very much aware that I'm going to need to have that conversation with him. And it's like, how do you explain? I've seen other people do it, but how do you explain that, because you're Black, the people who are supposed to protect you may be the ones who harm you? How How am I meant to have that conversation? I don't want to have that conversation. I don't want to have to do it. So that's why I'm amongst all my people where we are fighting for justice, because I can't do it. I know I'm going to have this conversation. But it can't be as bad as it is now. Something has got to give. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's too much. So these things are just going on all around the world. The UK is not innocent. Yeah? People saying, oh, it's just an America thing. Chatting rubbish. Yeah? No. The UK is not innocent in all of this. And their response to our protesting and their response to our calling out the systemic racism that has just been right from the beginning of time just proves why protesting and calling things out is more important now than it has ever been. But this is what this whole podcast is about, and this is why I've had to sort of shut down sometimes, because it's been weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of me sort of jumping on my phone, jumping on social media, and honestly, the last positive thing I've seen, I couldn't tell you. Or even if I'm seeing positive things, it's just sort of buried and easily sort of missed sometimes. Inside all of this negativity, negative press, telling people about themselves as well. And all of that. Do you know what I mean? But it can be a bit heavy. It can weigh a bit heavy, constantly going online and seeing your people going through so much pain. Coming online and seeing people talking about your people or talking about you in such a way that is just completely hateful. People trying to bring down the protest and trying to call it violent and trying to call it out. This is exactly how they see black people. They see black people when they see violence. They see black people when they see thugs. Yet, you've got these people protecting the statues, yeah? These are the ones harming the police. These ones are the ones rolling their arms, ready to scuff the police, throwing all kinds of bombs. Yet, we're the thugs. We're the violent ones. And even the way it's reported, do you know what I mean? They can never just give the spotlight to them and say, and just basically call them out on their racist thuggery. You've always got to put the Black Lives Matter protests right next to when you're speaking about these people. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, when this is not even about us. Talk about these people who planned it to just come out and just be doing Nazi salutes. Coming from wherever the hell they sleep. Do you know what I mean? Coming all the way down there just to cause absolute havoc. These people are anti-Black Lives Matter. These people are anti-black. And they chose this moment when we are just crying out for equality and justice. They now choose to come out and be like, nah, sorry, you're not having it. It kind of makes you think, you know what? Yeah, you keep protesting, you keep making up noise because the racism is deep-rooted. And that's what we need to start trying to weed out. Do you know what I mean? Things need to start changing. So, yeah, keep doing what we're doing, keep donating, keep doing all of that stuff. But we have to understand as well that we are living amongst genuine racist people who are not going to change. The very thought of us asking for justice and equality is actually rubbing them up so much the wrong way that they came from God knows where to come to London to now say, nah, it's not happening. We're going to protest your outrage. Do you know what I mean? And this is the stuff that, as black people, we just have to look and deal with, and we have to see. And, people on the press are saying, yeah, but George Floyd was this. Yeah, George Floyd was that. It's like, So we're now justifying being savagely killed in the street. Is that what we're doing now? Are you really about to justify this? So why am I hearing, yeah, but? Why is a man's past being brought up? Oh, Rayshard Brooks was shot, but he took the taser, but he tried to run away. Oh, okay. So that's reason enough to die. The fact that a man is sleeping in his car is reason to be killed, yeah? Is this what we're telling me? All these random hangings that's now coming out of the woodworks. Now they want to now start telling me it's suspected suicide. Miss me with all of that, yeah? Because you're basically telling me you're not investigating it. These things need to be investigated because something stinks. Some don't sound right. So emotionally, I'm tired. It's you know what I mean? It's just heavy. It just weighs heavy. I'm knackered. It's not every day. Jump online and just see just negativity. It's not every day. And because it's not every day, I've had to just shut down and just shut off. I just can't do it. Because enough is enough. Even my own mental thoughts, yeah, even my own thinking. I'm thinking, do you know what? Yeah, I would love if every police station in the world, do you know what I mean? Everyone just match up the whole place. But these are the thoughts that will even enter my head as a response to all of the madness and chaos that I'm seeing. All those, far right people, racist people, just out, quote unquote, protecting the statues. The way I just wanted all these kinds of vans and trucks to just come and run them all over, just run them all down. I shouldn't be thinking like that. But do you know what? I wanted the worst of the worst shit to happen to these people. Because hateful people like that are just gonna cause chaos. Do you know what I mean? They deserve the worst kind of treatment. Now I want to be hailing this amazing black man who had a white man on his shoulder and carrying him to safety. That is just a kind-hearted person. And he was doing it for a racist. And it didn't matter. So my point is this, right? What we're going through as a people is a lot. Do you understand? We're seeing the most of the most. And my advice is just to switch it off sometimes. Yeah, we need to get a lot of the information. Yeah, we need to be doing the most. But, you can be out protesting. You can be donating to different causes. You can just be educating yourself. I've been seeing a lot of, what's the saying they're calling it now? Performative posts all online. And it is performative. I'm seeing a lot of these brands and it feels bandwagony. Some of it feels bandwagony. Do you know what I mean? And some of it I just don't trust. And, shout outs to people like Jackie Aina and all the other people who are calling out brands to drop the list, innit? Who have you got employed in your company? How many of them are black? Yeah, keep posting your posts, yeah? Post your posts. Post your black square. But tell me how many people that are actually employed in your massive company that are actually black. How many black people are you helping to elevate? What do I hear? Crickets. Yeah? And even the ones who are brazen enough to bring out them figures, look at it. You've got mugs like Starbucks who want to now be throwing posts out. Yeah, we stand with you. But you want to be telling your staff, don't be coming here with no BLM merch. Don't come here with no BLM merch. Yeah? We're not about all this personal issue, all this. Yeah, a man can come in and wear rainbows to stand up for pride. Which is a great thing. But what? How are you trying to tell me I can wear a rainbow to stand for pride, but I can't wear a BLM badge? Like, come off it. And then you're called out and then you want to now reverse. It's just examples like that where it's like, don't come here try and jump on a bandwagon just save your business. Like, piss off. You're done out here. You're done. Costa's better than you anyway. It's time that we are elevated. It's time that we're not seen as, beneath. Justice needs to be served. I'll tell you about one incident. This colleague so brazenly said, we were just all chilling. We were all chilling one time on like the balcony. And then there was a guy in his car sort of blasting out some music. This guy now decides to laugh. He was all laughing. It was funny. I mean, look, there's a black guy in a Beamer blasting out Mariah Carey. I mean, come on. Those were literally his words. There's a black guy in a Beamer blasting out Mariah Carey. I mean, and he seemed to find that funny. So I'm like, why is that funny? I was like, yeah, why can't I listen to Mariah Carey? He's still there laughing. He then proceeded to give another example of the fact that there was a group of black guys listening to their Rhythmics. And he seemed to find that funny. Now, every inch of me, every part of me wanted to run this man down. I wanted to cuss him left, right, centre. But let me tell you something. We weren't the only ones on that balcony. There was a good, 5 or 6 other people. And they were all white. And they all heard him. But nobody said anything. So in that moment, I kind of thought to myself, do you know what? I might be seen as, if I really come for him like the way I want to come for him, yeah, I'm going to be seen as the aggressive one. I'm going to be looked at as the problem. I felt outnumbered. Do you understand? I'm saying, yeah, well, why's that funny? Like, so? And? Do you know what I mean? That's all my response is. But, I didn't go beyond that. And I literally lost sleep over this thing because, I went home and I really wished I said something more. I really wished I did tear into him. Because what he said was racist, point blank and period. But, at that moment, I felt outnumbered. And at that moment, I kind of felt like, well, why should I have to say something? Well, because I'm the only black person here. Why am I the only one offended? And I just sort of looked around and I was like, none of these lot are going to say nothing. None of these lot will say anything. Do you know what I mean? And that just really got to me. It just really worked on my nerve. I will have that conversation with him. I will have that conversation with him because he cannot feel comfortable enough to do something like that again in my presence. He can't be comfortable enough to do that. He can't be comfortable enough to say things like that. And I just let it go. I don't tell him about himself. No. We will have that conversation. But I'm just saying in that moment, I just felt outnumbered and it just didn't feel right. Why should I have to be the one to cuss him? What, because I'm the only black one here? So I'm the only one that should be offended. Now, everybody should be offended. Do you know what I mean? So this is the time where, we need people who are anti-racist to use their voices as well. Because the more you bury your head in the sand about it, the more you don't acknowledge your privilege, the longer this goes on. The story about Shukri Abdi really just shook me. It shook me to the core. That whole story. She was bullied for so long by this group of people, right? And they drowned her. They drowned her. They did this. They lured her to a lake and they drowned her. These people that did that, these white people that did that to her, right, are walking murderers. They're school kids, but they are murderers. The fact that the school and the police have not done anything, right, is mad. Is mad to me. Why are you not doing anything? Like, what? This girl was murdered. There's no accident. There's no nothing. No, she was killed. Do you understand? And these murderers are actually sleeping well at night. Let me tell you that. They're sleeping well at night. These people are future serial killers. Let's not play games here. These people are future serial killers and they're going to kill again. Because if you could do that at school age to an innocent peer, you're going to be doing that for forever. Now you're going to know what it's like to kill someone. You're going to do it again and again and again and again. They are actually, the people that did this to her are serial killers already in the making. They've already done their first kill. They're going to keep doing it. I'll leave a few links in the description for this episode where you can sort of go and get some more information. But honestly, guys, it did help me a little bit just to not go online and see so much hate. Massive shout out to Marcus Rashford, footballer, who is using this time and using his resources and using who he is and his passion, his heart, to do really good for so many families in the UK. What he managed to achieve with persuading, the government to offer free meals to school kids in the summer is something that is just, honestly, it warms my heart. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't about to take no. He wasn't about to take no excuses. He kept on and kept on and kept on. He fight for the greater good, and guess what? It paid off. And now there's loads of families. You can imagine there's loads of families who probably broke down and cried because they were probably wondering how they were going to cope. And due to, his hard work and his perseverance, that's one less thing that they're going to have to worry about. So massive shout out to Marcus Rashford. I think that guy is amazing. He's awesome. And he's got the brightest future ahead of him. Do you know what I mean? The brightest. And we can all learn something from him. We can all be a lot more compassionate, have loads more empathy, and just, honestly, one good deed a day keeps the... Is there a saying? What is the saying? I don't know it, but let's just keep positive. Let's just try and, in the midst of all this madness and, global pandemics and racist pandemics and all of that, let's just honestly look to God or, look to whoever you need to for guidance. And man, let's just get through this. But honestly, switch it off sometimes. Love on the people that are right next to you. Hug on the people that are right next to you. And, let's just give thanks in all things. Okay, guys, thanks so much for listening to another episode. I'll be back soon, I promise. I know I'm inconsistent, but, I'm working on it. And I'll catch you on the next episode. Bye.